Welcome to episode 15 of the weekly show with Aditya. We have had quite a few interesting matches in the past few weeks. The India West Indies one day matches and the Sri Lanka England one day matches have kept us on the edge of our seats. Let's talk about the India West Indies match. First match was one sided as India beat West Indies 8 wickets with 7 overs remaining, though the West Indies did fight by posting a good total of 320 for 7, helped by Shimron Hetmeyer's brilliant 106. The second one wasn't one-sided as much as a match which one would presume that West Indies lost from a position of strength. Once again, it was Shai Hope and Shimron Hetmeyer who took the match till the last ball, and eventually neither of the teams got to the end. Though there were a few milestones that day, Virat Kohli became the fastest to 10,000 ODI runs in just over 200 matches. He broke a 17-year-old record of Sachin Tendulkar, who made it in around 259 matches. One could say that with the absence of Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Jasprit Bumrah, the bowling lineup was weakened. But no, we had two equally talented bowlers in Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav. True, either of them may not have slow deliveries or bouncers or off cutters, but yes, they are as good as that we can have. In the end, the match was tied. Both teams could rue some chances that India could have scored maybe 10 to 15 runs more, that West Indies could have maybe contributed a little more. Someone could have supported Shai Hope after Shimron Hetmeyer did what he does. One can even say that when MS Dhoni reaches 10,000 runs, the achievement will be greater. Yes, Virat Kohli's 10,000 runs are fastest, but Dhoni's will be greater because he will become the first wicketkeeper in India to get 10,000 runs and second wicketkeeper after Kumar Sangakkara to achieve this. And why is this achievement greater? Because he comes at number 5, 6, 7. Unless the team is struggling at 30 for 5, he will hardly get a chance to score 100. For an individual who has only 900, it is a phenomenal achievement. Due to rain interrupted matches, Sri Lanka had to be on the losing side as England won the series 3-0. But the last match, Sri Lanka did not give up. England rested few of their main bowlers and gave a chance to their backup bowlers who are as talented as they can be. But that day Sri Lanka had other plans. They went after the bowling. They had no fear of anything. And this is something the West Indies can see and achieve. And that day, Sri Lankan bowling was spectacular. The youngsters did a marvelous job. They rested Lasin Malinga, who at 35 will have to choose what matches he plays and what he does not play. They gave a chance to youngsters. And of course, Akila Dhananjaya in the mold of Muralidharan, the more talented because he can bat. He is an all-rounder. And then they have all-rounders in Dasun Shanaka, Thisara Pereira, Dhananjaya De Silva. So when you have 4 all-rounders in a team who can bowl, bat, they are brilliant fielders. And when you have around 4 wicket keepers in a team like Dick Vela, Chandi Mahal, Sajida Samaravikrama and Kusal Mendes, why will you not win? Now let's move on to Crown Jewel pay-per-view in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We have a few iconic matches. Daniel Bryan, after his return to WWE, gets a chance against AJ Styles, who has beaten every opponent possible thrown at him. He had a 4-0 streak against Shinsuke Nakamura. He beat Samoa Joe twice after the rivalry got personal and they took it to another level. And now Daniel Bryan, after beating The Miz, will have a chance to reclaim the WWE title, though AJ Styles is usually not the one to give up this easily. What about the Universal Championship? Due to unfortunate circumstances, Roman Reigns had to relinquish his championship. Now it is a one-on-one match between behemoths in Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, who lost his championship in the previous pay-per-view, will be looking to reclaim it, while Braun Strowman, who was Mr. Money in the Bank, or as they call him, Mr. Monster in the Bank, will be looking for his first championship in a wait of almost 4 years. The Women's Championship is also something that needs to be watched, as Ronda Rousey faces one of the Bella twins in Nikki Bella to defend her Raw Women's Championship, while the rivalry between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair continues to flare up as they try to make it more personal, and when they meet at the first ever women's pay-per-view called Evolution, they will look to create history. Though history can be created if they can add the first ever women's tag team championships. That would make it more interesting. Now, talking about tag team championships, what about Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose beating Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler for the tag team championships? But what happened after is something to be noted. Dean Ambrose, fuming at his former Shield partners or brothers, finally exploded as after winning the championship, Dean Ambrose brutally assaulted Seth Rollins to take out his frustration after he had been on the sideline for almost 9 to 10 months. It finally gave away. And now what needs to be seen is that how will they take this rivalry further? Will they have a Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins championship for the Intercontinental Championship, or will these two face in a one-on-one non-title match? Either way, this rivalry might come since Roman Reigns won't be available for a few months due to a certain personal reason. The entry of Big Show assisting the Bar in winning the tag team championships has made his role more interesting. That good guy, now they might have changed his character to being the monster, what Braun Strowman has been doing for Raw. Now talking about all-rounders, India did miss Kedar Jadhav and Hardik Pandya in the first two one-day matches, and that is why they recalled Jadeja, who is equally a good all-rounder. You don't have to 4 or 5 wickets every time to prove yourself. If you can score those 20-25 runs, to give away less than 50 runs in 10 overs and restrict the batting, where one Shimron Hetmeyer was carting you for sixes for fun. It was a very good performance. Now what remains to be seen is how do they manage when Kedar Jadhav and Hardik Pandya are back from injuries. For me, Jadeja should stay in the team and they can revolve the team around these people. Rishabh Pant should also stay while they can experiment Rahul as an opener with Rohit Sharma. And then number 4, 5, 6, 7, you can always rotate between Raidu, Manish Pandey, Kedar Jadhav, Hardik Pandya, Jadeja, Dhoni and Pant. These are your number 4, 5, 6, 7. As and when required, we can rotate them and we can be flexible. This whole continuous theory of a muddle in the middle order is absolutely hogwash. There is no muddle. It is a very good middle order, experienced middle order. We have 4 or 5 batsmen ready, 3 good all-rounders in Kedar Jadhav, Hardik Pandya, Jadeja, and then we can add Bhuvneshwar Kumar, because of whom we won the Asia Cup at one point of time. It did not look as if we would win the Asia Cup, but to Kedar Jadhav, Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Ravindra Jadeja, we won the Asia Cup even though it was on the last ball. Talking about the Asia Cup, what about the Hockey Asian Champions Trophy? India has been on a roll. They beat Pakistan, Japan, Oman, Korea, and then They drew with Malaysia. Yes, the coach wasn't pleased with the performance, but in the hindsight, a draw and 4 wins is not a bad performance at all, which takes them to the semi-finals of the Asia Cup. And if they can do well in this Asia Cup or Asian Champions Trophy, it will go a long way in giving them confidence towards the World Cup, where they are going to face few good teams. Thank you for listening to this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode.